Have you sparred with anyone where you've been like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually sparring you?
Yeah, I mean, not so long back I spoke Kell Brook.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah. And you just feel you feel his aura in the ring, man. He's like, and he does little things where you think, you know, I didn't see that coming, or do you know what I mean? So, yeah, and then you just in your back of your head thinking, this geezer's fought Golovkin.
What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know.
podcast.
Get to Know. Get to Know.
So we're locked into the Get to Know podcast, and I am joined by unbeaten professional welterweight Conah Walker. How you doing, bro?
Yes, bro. How you doing?
Really well, man. Really well. And yourself?
Yeah, man. Not too bad, man. Not too bad.
Nice one, man. I'm really looking forward to this. So thanks again for joining me today.
That's no worries, man. No worries.
All right. So to get straight into things, we'll go into the quick fire round. So I'll just ask you a series of questions, and you've got to choose your preferred option. Okay.
Yeah, so mate.
Okay. So let's get into it. Firstly, English or maths?
Maths.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Films or TV series?
TV series.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Oh, sorry, what was that, Connor?
Apple.
Apple, sound. Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Kanye West or Jay-Z?
Jay-Z.
Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
A lot of people struggle on that one.
Yeah, I like them both, man.
I hear that. Spider-Man or Batman?
Batman.
Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram. I haven't got Twitter, I don't think. I think I've got it somewhere along the line.
Winter or summer?
Summer, whole day.
Good man. And finally, what is your favourite holiday destination?
Gonna have to say Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
man.
never been there. What's it like?
Sick, man. Just so much to do there. I
Yeah.
went there a few weeks ago. And it's just, yeah, I've been to a fair few places in Europe and stuff, but yeah, that's definitely the best destination.
Yeah, I'm a bit curious to see it and like just to kind of experience it. Like it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, with Dubai, it's not like I'm dying to go there, but I'm curious to kind of see what it's like the whole concept of it being like a man-made city and everything. Like,
That's it, man.
yeah, I'm
I was
curious.
curious, man, but as soon as I got there, there's just so much to do there. There's people are friendly, and my dog, man. Yeah, people are so friendly, so much to do there, and you just feel safe there. It's banging, man.
Sick. All right, nice one, bro. So, to get into things, can you talk to me a little bit about your background, growing up and what led you into boxing?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I've always lived in Wolverhampton. Grew up in Wolverhampton, so grew up in Graiseley. I used to play rugby till I was I played rugby up until I was about 18. And then I started boxing while I was playing rugby. Yeah, and then so I started drifting towards the boxing. And I was always sort of playing rugby, boxing, and I've always fighting on the rugby field. I was thinking, I think I should put the boxing into a bit of play. So yeah, I just started boxing. I had 30 amateur fights in the boxing. Lost 3 of them. And then went on to turn pro. I've been pro 2 years now. Obviously, the last year has been a bit slow with the COVID stuff. I've only had 1 fight in the COVID, which is probably more than most actually. But yeah, I've had 9 pro fights now. Drew 1 of them. I've meant to fight for the Midlands title 3 times now, and it's just been cancelled about every time.
Oh man,
Corona.
that must be so frustrating.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. But yeah, that's it really. and then obviously now just ticking over in the gym, just waiting for the phone to go. I'm eager to get back out there.
So how is it training now at the moment when you kind of don't really know when your next fight's going to be? You're not, well, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not anything concrete to look forward to. So what's it like kind of keep that mentality up?
It's hard to keep the motivation and hard to keep your head on it, but I suppose you've got to stay professional in a sense and just try and tick over, because I think Midlands fighters don't really get the chance to have like sort of full camps anyway, so they'll just drop a fight on a Midlands fighter, say 3 weeks in advance, 4 weeks in advance, and just say, here's your chance, and then you only get a couple of them chances before you sort of wiped off and you never get thought about again. So you've got to keep yourself in a sort of fixed state, ready for the phone to go, and then you can just jump on it. So yeah, it's hard, but you just got to stay professional and just try and stay in the gym. And you got to appreciate that the gyms are open for us professionals, whereas everyone else, they haven't got the chance to go to the gym. So you got to make the most of it in a sense, don't you?
Yeah, tell me about it. I'd say that's the one thing that I really miss, like just going to the gym. Like everything else, I don't know. I'm not really missing anything else, but just going to the gym, man.
I think it's affecting most people. To be fair, the gym. I think that's the biggest one, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, because I actually thought, because when it became they brought in the tiers, and then Wolverhampton was put in tier 3, but gyms were open in tier 3, so I'm thinking, all right, cool. So gyms probably aren't gonna close again, but then it happened, and
there's some of them people in. I've seen. There's a big bald guy. I've seen him on Instagram where he's keeping his gym open. Have you know which one I'm on about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
His name. And then there's another, that Nick Cock-Powdy. So he's trying to keep his gym open. There's a few people just turning to bollocks and just cracking on, aren't they? So, and I know a few of the cities. I think Italy. I think Poland. They're all sort of rebelling and they're just all coming together. And they're just opening. And they don't care. So, I mean, we'll see how things go. But I think if it carries on like this, people have just got to put a stand on it.
Mm. So, like, you said that, Midlands fighters, you'll often just get, like, fights, given to you at short notice. Like, why is that the case? Why is that a problem for Midlands fighters? No, man.
Like, you've got with the boxing, you've got the Londoners, and then you've got but I just think, like, they all get put before the Midlands fighters. I feel like down here, we don't really get the boxing's not really massive in Wolverhampton, not massive in the Midlands. Whereas in London and Manchester and Liverpool, the place, it's bigger for boxing. I feel the Midlands, they have a sort of escalated yet, where I think it can definitely become that way. But at the minute, it's just, it's hard to say really. But they just get a little bit more exposure and time to get ready, and do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain really, but yeah.
So when you first started boxing, like, what was it? How did you? No, it's.
Sorry. Was it clicked off there now? One sec, sorry, mate.
Nice.
Yeah, back on.
Sweet. So when you first started boxing, how did you find it? Was it something that you kind of took to and fell in love with straight away, or was it maybe a little bit? It took a few sessions to kind of get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I started boxing to keep fit for the rugby, and yeah, I just instantly loved it. I had my first fight, and I was still sort of drinking. I was just, still being a lad, and then after that first fight, I realised, you've got you can't play this game, man. So when I was after that fight, I thought, I've got to try and put my head down, and work a bit harder. But yeah. I mean, to be fair, I just jumped straight in with both feet, and I just had a good go at it, and I haven't sort of cheated the game really. When I'm fighting, I stick in camp, and I don't cheat it really. It's but yeah, I love it. I love the game.
So when you say you don't cheat it, you mean you're like very by the book. You do everything properly.
Yeah. When I'm in camp and I've got a fight on the line, yeah, I'm a bit anal about it. I'm on the job.
I'll say that again.
Yeah. I'm saying when I'm in camp, I'm on the job and I'm staying fit and I'm ready to go, sort of thing. Nice.
So, what was it about boxing that made you kind of want to take it seriously?
I like the dedication. I like the I like the fact of another man saying, "I'm going to beat you." That to me, it gives me a buzz, and I don't know. I just like the challenge, and obviously there's the stories where people have come from nothing and they've gone on and they've earned millions out of the game, and then obviously money's not everything, but I mean it's a big part of day-to-day life. So obviously there's a money side of it, there's that, and and just a dedication, and yeah.
So how old were you when you stopped playing rugby?
18, and then I started
18.
boxing, yeah.
Am I right in saying you played for Leicester Tigers?
Yeah. Done a bit for Leicester. I played Leicester County. And then I just decided it wasn't the game for me really, and then it got to that stage where I think with rugby it's not what you know, it's who you know. You get to that level there, and you get you get overshone by not say posh kids, but like the kids who their dads are in with the clubs, and you sort of get left in the shadows really. So yeah.
You think you could have made it pro, or do you think maybe that would have stopped you?
Yeah, definitely. I could have made it, but I just felt like I think with sport and stuff like that, everyone needs to have the same card, and if you're good, then you should be treated fairly. You should be overshone by people that they haven't got the skills than you, but the dad's got more money than your dad, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that just put a bit of a dampener on it.
So what did you find most challenging when you first started boxing?
The diet. Yeah, the diet, man. I like food. I do, so the diet part. The dedication. When I know all the lads say you've got to miss out on quite a lot. In terms of the lads going out and partying, I've got to go and have a water, and then go back home and chilling out. It takes a while to get used to, but obviously that's all part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to begin with, but you sort of you get into it, but yeah, it is hard.
So talk to me about what it was like going into your first amateur fight. I mean, how long had you been training prior to that?
Only about 8 weeks, I think.
So it was 8 weeks from you starting boxing to you having your first amateur fight?
Yeah, it wasn't that long. Probably, I'd say 8 weeks. Probably about 3-4 months. I'd say, I don't know, probably 3 months. I went to a show. Where is it? It's in town. The Diamond Banqueting Suite.
Yeah.
I went there to watch the lads because I was training, doing a bit of training. I went there to watch the lads that was fighting, and I said to him, I'll fight on the next one. He's like, okay, we'll see how you go, and then I fought on that one. But yeah, obviously it's nerve wracking, and I had a few people come and watch me, and you're thinking, oh, what if I leave this? I know, but then after about 6 fights to 8 fights, you started just chilling out a bit, relaxing, and once you can relax in the ring, that's when the best of you comes out of you, really. The first few fights, you just trying to just run in, and get it over and done with. But once you start enjoying it, it becomes fun.
So talk me through that first amateur fight.
Yeah, it was mad. I think I sold a fair few tickets for the fight, and so just obviously. It's hard to get used to at the start, and then after, when you're knackered, then you got people come up to you trying to shake hands, and I didn't know how to get made around it, so I was like, I think I was a bit snappy with some people, like, nah, leave me alone, alright, like, I just wanted to get out of it, I just wanted to get home, you know what I mean, get out of the thingy, but after a while, you get used to it, and you start embracing it, it's good, man, but at the start, I don't even know how to explain it, mate, it's a weird feeling, you can't buy that feeling when, your hand gets raised, and it's a buzz. It's a buzz, man. That's all I can say.
So you won a couple of national titles in the England Development Championships, as well as getting to the semis as the England elite competition. So can you talk to me about those experiences and what they did for your career? Yeah.
I mean, the first national title was like everyone in sort of UK, you fight everyone who's had say 10 fights and under. I think because of my weight I was at the time, I had to do I think I had to do like 4 fights to get to the Midlands final. So then let's say you fight on the one weekend, and then you say you win that, and then you fight the next weekend, you win that, and then the weekend after you'll have to have like a fight on the Friday, a fight on the Saturday, and then you'll go on to the nationals then, and then so you have a fight on the weekend after, Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. So yeah, so it's good. But the under 10s, I feel like it's just a tear up. There's no, because it's everyone's just sort of coming to the game and they just want to impress. It's just like having just a tear up really. And then the next championships, that's a bit more technical. I dropped my weight then because I was fighting at like 75 kg, where that's like super middle really in the pros. And then I dropped it down to 69 kg to fight welter. And then obviously that was the second championship, so I won them. I think I had about 6, 7 fights in 4 weeks. It is, and then the championships. And then I've done the elites. I had a fair few good fights on that. I think I had 5 fights to get to the semis, and then I come across a tall southpaw, really awkward. It was just hard to kick tag, and I lost on a split decision, but which could have gone either way. I'm not gonna debate that. But yeah, just I learned so much, because the thing is, like, some fights you can fight and then after you can have a watch back, and it's just but yeah, the championships did boost me quite a lot on in terms of boxing skill, and I got more attention from after done a couple of them. Yeah.
So how was that experience, like having to have like several fights in quick succession for like on consecutive days?
Yeah.
How was that?
Tough, because you got to fight on the Saturday. You got to be back in the gym Monday to train again for the following Friday or the Saturday. So your body, for about 4 weeks, your whole body's just messed up, man. It's just taking a battering every weekend, and then you're training. It's just, it's just tough going, but it's worth it in the end, I suppose, when you get the titles.
And how did you find it the first time you had to kind of drop weight?
Yeah, it was tough, because I mean, at the start I never really used to drop weight. I used to just walk around, eat what I wanted, and just fight the bigger lads, sort of thing. I just used to be happy with that. But then obviously once you start stepping up, and you have to start stepping up with the better fighters, and then you have to drop weight, because they all end up being 6 odd foot. And I'm not the tallest out of the bunch, so cutting weight. I mean, I suppose when you get to a certain level, you just have to do it. But yeah, it's hard to begin with, and then you start to have to drop water and stuff like that. That's even harder when you're going to bed and your mouth's dry. You can't even drink.
Really?
Yeah, it gets sometimes, man. So if you've ate some too much on the couple of days before, you have to start dropping your water. It can be tough, man, but it is what it is.
So, at what point did you think, I'm probably gonna go professional?
After the elite championships, someone put me in touch with Ricky Hatton's team, and then just me spoke to Ricky on the phone. He says, "I want you to come up and do a bit of sparring." So I can have a look at you and sit and have a chat with you, see if you want to turn over and stuff. So I went up there, started going up there, say once or twice a week, doing a bit of sparring, doing a bit of pad work. And then he was just like, obviously, he said, it's up to you, but I want you to turn pro with me and live up here in Manchester. So I thought, well, I have to see how the championships go. I thought if I won the championships, then I was going to stay on and try and push for the GB GB squad, but obviously I lost in the semi, so I thought, what we've got to lose now. I'm not going to wait another year for the championship, so I thought, I'll just turn pro, let's see how it goes, and then it's obviously moved to Manchester. It's good up there, to be fair. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I bet. I saw you did some work on Ricky Hatton's house, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing a bit of painting on his fences and stuff. Yeah.
So what did it do, like having someone of Ricky's pedigree?
You have to pinch yourself sometimes, but because you get the likes of Tyson Fury and Billy Joe and all these people just walk into the gym naturally, and I'm just like, it's mad, like. But and then you got Ricky, but I suppose once you get around the fact that they've done what they've done, and they're just humans at the end of the day, aren't they?
Yeah. Sick. And so he was your trainer in the first few professional fights, was he?
Yeah, he was my trainer. I think for the first 7 fights. I think I've had 2 fights since being back down here. So yeah, I've had 7 fights under Ricky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how comes you're not with him anymore?
It was just I couldn't make ends meet in terms of money over there, and yeah, I had a few issues going on down home. It's hard to live. I mean, it's hard to live in 2 hours away, and obviously all my work's down here. Obviously, I'm a toiler, so I couldn't find a lot of work up there to mix in between my training. Whereas down here, I've got work everywhere. If you know what I mean. So yeah, it was just hard to meet ends meet, really.
Okay, so talk to me about that transition between amateur and professional. So did it come at the right time? Was it something that you were kind of thinking about already, or?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started boxing, I thought I didn't even think about pro. I didn't even think about making money out of it. I just thought I'd literally just doing a bit of boxing. Just dog keeps. Just doing a bit of boxing, getting fit. But then, when someone put it forward to like, do you want to turn pro? I was like, oh, okay. Then like, do you know what I mean? I'll give it a go and see how it goes, and then turn pro, and then it just becomes normal, and then you just wait for your next fight. I mean, it's the transition from amateur to pro. I mean, it's always boxing, but I mean, there's just it's slowed down a bit. It's slowed down a bit more with the pro game. With the amateurs, it's so fast and it's in out fast. Whereas the pros, you got more rounds. You sort of sit down on your shots a bit more, but it doesn't take you too long to sort of get your way around it. Really, to be honest, it's just boxing, isn't it?
And do you think this suits you better? That the style of the pros?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I like the pros better. Yeah, I just like the fact that you can sort of sit down and your punches a bit more. You catch a few more shots rather than just in and out. Which I like that pressure game really. So, and I like the time to work my opponents down and wear them out and see where the gaps are. So yeah.
And how did the change how did the approach differ from when you were training for, say, your first amateur fight comparing to training for your first pro fight?
I feel like the pros. I mean, when you turn professional, people you've instantly got a you turn professional, and it becomes then like the professional status. Then is people think you're going to be so much better, and you got so much more expectation. I mean, amateur boxing, of course you got expectations, and you've got to put a show out there. But I mean, when you turn professional, it's like right now I've got to show them why I've turned professional, and it's there's just it's a level up then, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So you've just got to level up in every way possible. I mean, with the amateurs, I'd probably train twice a day, every couple of days. I try and once every night. But with the pros, you start training twice a day, 3 times a day. It just becomes a lot harder, and sparring becomes a lot harder. I mean, you start sparring sort of champions, and so I mean, it's just a step up, level up, isn't it?
And have you sparred with anyone where you've been like, wow, I can't believe I'm actually sparring you?
Yeah, I mean, not so long back I sparred Kell Brook.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you just feel his aura in the ring, man. He's like, and he does little things where you think, I didn't see that coming, or do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then you just in your back of your head thinking this geezer's fought Golovkin. But yeah, I felt that with him, to be fair.
Yeah, I bet, man. So I saw your first fight. It must have been incredible for you getting, the TKO. I bet it did wonders for your confidence. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I mean, when I went out there to sort of try and take him out there. But then, like, obviously, I learned from after that. You can't sort of bang them all out. So I mean, yeah, I got the TKO, and he was a tough kid, and do you know what I mean? But I went hunting for it. But then after that, I realised if I keep going hunting for it, do you know what I mean? These journeymen, they're tough blokes, man. You've got to try to
Yeah.
hold the shots and pick them properly. Whereas with that first fight, I was just onto him. But when you start moving up through the ranks, you've got to hide your shots and be a bit cuter. So I'm looking forward to getting back out there at the minute because I'm working on a lot at the minute. So I want to try and put it to practice.
So, what's more satisfying for you, like going into a fight and then just kind of smashing the brother up, or a fight where you've kind of maybe have to think a little bit more, maybe be a bit more tactical and maybe winning then on points?
I suppose everyone wants to go out there and smash them all out, don't they? Because you don't get paid for overtime, you know what I mean? But I think that when you get in the ring and you start and you're trying to try things and it's not working here, then you have to look for a little gap here. I feel like that's it's more of a challenge, and you're more satisfying then. Of course it is, because you've had to work the guy out instead of just blasting him out. You've had to work the gaps out and see where you're at. So I mean, yeah, it's more satisfying when you got someone in front of you where you have to work a bit harder and think. Definitely.
So, you've gone on to have 8 more fights, 7 wins and a draw. So, like, what would be your assessment of your professional career so far?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, I'm happy with my record so far. The draw, I'm not so happy about. I felt like I won the fight, but it come, and I just got to move on from it. And I just want to better myself now. Every fight I've had, I've sort of looked back and think of try and better this, better that. So yeah, I mean, it's good so far, but I mean, there's always room for improvement, isn't there? So
Yeah. So, the way that your pro career has gone so far, I guess COVID couldn't have come at a worse time for you.
yeah, it's crap.
So, how has it affected you, and how have you adjusted to the changes?
Yeah, I mean, I just cross every bridge when it comes to it. I mean, you can't, in my eyes, these things you can't change. So you've just got to make the most of a bad situation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's hard because you can't make as much money. You can't fight as much as you want to fight, and there's no telling what's around the corner. So I mean it's hard to keep them. Yeah, I mean, if you just got to cross the bridge when it comes to it, and it's hard to say with the COVID because we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's happening next week. We don't know. So, yeah, it's just. I mean, it's different, isn't it? That's all you can say.
Yeah. So, is there likelihood of any fights anytime soon for you?
Nah, we're just getting ready for like March. I mean, I spoke to my manager, and we're just going to get ready for the. I mean, any dropouts, any fights that sort of don't come off, and they need me to jump in. I'm happy to just jump in. Um, so I'm just waiting for the phone to go, but I'm just going to get myself fit and ready for any sort of anything that comes my way.
Yeah, fairs. So, in your last fight, that was against Nathan Benden. So, not only did you get the win, but you made your Channel 5 debut. So, congratulations for that.
Cheers, mate.
How was that experience?
Yeah, it's good, man. It was good. Obviously, I fought Bendon before. He's a
Yeah.
that man. He's a top fighter. Tough lad. And I mean, I watched that fight back many times, and I've seen things that I've learned from it so much. Yeah, Channel 5. I mean, can't beat that. And the views for that fight. I think the views for that fight was. I can't remember the exact numbers, but there was big numbers. So, yeah, it's doing big things for me, and hopefully I'll get another chance to get back on there. That's one of my goals, is get back onto Channel 5 or even Frank Warren or Sky. I was trying to push for that Marku fight. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
That Florian Marku. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to try and call him out, see if I can get on Sky, and that hasn't come off. But I spoke to the guy's manager, and I'm hoping to get the winner from him and the guy that he's fighting. So hopefully this year, at some point, I can get on Sky and try and get out there. Yeah.
Sick. So, what did that do for you going on Channel 5?
Yeah, I mean, a few more followers on Instagram and a few more people saying, "Oh, I've seen you on TV" and stuff. But I mean, yeah, it's just another fight really. Um,
Yeah.
obviously I've met a few more people that could be useful to me in future. So yeah, I mean, just gotta wait and see, and just keep in the gym and see where it goes. But yeah,
So, like you said, you'd already fought Nathan Benden. So, what's the psychology like when you're going into a fight with someone that you've already beat?
yeah. Obviously, the first fight I only won by 2 points. So obviously he's I knew he's no mug. And I mean, I knew obviously I was going into the fight. Obviously, in the back of your head, you're thinking I've already fought with him, I've already beat him. Um, but I mean, I think I just had to better myself from my last fight, if you know what I mean. I think all I had in my head was just as long as I better myself from the last fight, and which I did. I think I won every round, so and quite convincingly. So yeah, I mean, there was two different fights in a sense. In the second fight, I felt way more comfortable. I felt like that's my ring, and he couldn't do anything that shocked me. Anything he'd done, I sort of trumped. Whereas the first fight, he was doing a few little sneaky things here and there, and yeah, I had to sort of try and work my way around it. But the second fight, I felt comfortable.
Mate, you looked comfortable.
Yeah, I felt relaxed and comfortable. Yeah, it was good.
So, what's it like? In the pro fight, you go out there and the crowd starts cheering your name. It must be a crazy feeling, man.
It's mad, it's mad. It is mad, but I feel like the walkout, you hear it. When I'm in the ring, I don't hear it. I just sort of tunnel vision, and then it's after I hear it. When I'm in the ring, I feel like sometimes I hear like a few mad things, like someone in the crowd saying like something mad, and I just hear it and I just have a little laugh to myself. But I can't hear everyone else. Do you know what I mean? I just hear like a little thing here, a little thing there. But yeah, it's just I thought you just tunnel vision on it really.
So, who would you say is your favorite boxer full time?
That's a hard one, man.
Or you can give me top three if you want.
Modern day, yeah,
Uh,
or all time.
yeah. All time, all time.
I got loads, man. So obviously, this I'll say modern. We'll go with say Canelo. He's my top fighter. I love Lomachenko, but obviously what Lopez has done to him, I think Lopez is definitely up there in one of my top fighters as well. And I like Tyson Fury. And old school fighters, obviously I love Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. They're all the top names, but I like Holyfield. I think he's
Yeah.
fucking class. To be honest, I love loads of different fighters for different things, man. It's hard to just pick my top fighters. Yeah, it's hard, but yeah, I'd say probably Canelo at the minute. He's class, man.
And say, favorite British fighter?
British fighter. Yeah, it's got to be Tyson Fury, innit? Yeah, Tyson Fury, man. He's a legend. I like Billy Joe as well. Billy Joe's good.
Yeah. So, AJ versus Fury. Who's your money on? I guess Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it's got to be, man. I do rate AJ and I like him, but I just think Tyson Fury's just. I think he beats him in every sense. What do you reckon?
I don't know, man. Like, I'm a casual boxing fan. I'll say that now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not sure, man. I like them both. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And with Tyson Fury, it's hard for me to see anyone beating him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I like him, man.
He just has that. I don't know. He's that awkward style, that mentality. It's just. I really can't see him losing,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I proper rate AJ. Like I'd love him to win.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, like I like them both, man. So other than yourself, are there any up and coming boxers that you think people should know about?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few, man. I mean, obviously, local lads. I'm training with a fair few good lads at the minute, like Danny Ball. He's got WBC silver. He's doing well. He's hoping to be fighting in March, I think it is. He's just been signed to Frank Warren.
Sick.
Yeah. So he's doing well. I mean, obviously, I support all the lads that I'm training with at the minute. Upcoming fighters who I should think about at the minute. Obviously, Brad Ray over in Manchester. He's a good lad. He's one of my good friends. Who else? It's hard to think when you put me on the spot like that. Who do I think? In the Midlands. See, the Midlands at the minute, I mean, there's not a lot going on at the minute. It's just so it's hard to say. It's hard to see progression and stuff.
Yeah.
But British fighters, I think Joshua Bratsey's one of my favourite upcoming fighters. He's a class act. Yeah.
And what do you make of this fairly new trend of like YouTubers like getting professional boxing licenses and having these big fights selling out arenas? What's your take on that?
You know what? I ain't got nothing against it. They're just trying to make some money, and you know they're getting the numbers. And if people are enjoying the fighting, if people are enjoying the fights that they're doing, then let them crack on. Do you know what I mean? It's not. People are saying it's tarnishing the face of boxing, which I do agree with in a way. But I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's just trying to make a bit of money and you know have a bit of fame here and there. So I can't knock them. It's just one of them. I think people who are bitter about it, I feel like they're probably a bit jealous that they're not making as much money as them, I reckon. So, yeah.
If a YouTuber called you out, you reckon you'd fight him?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. The numbers are getting in. I think, you know that Logan Paul, I think he beat the pay-per-view record below like some of our top fighters, and I think he was just sort of a couple under Mayweather's, like crazy numbers, like, so yeah, of course he would.
Yeah, I think I heard it was like the 9th biggest pay-per-view
fight
of all time or something like that. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think of like there's a bit of a divide between casual fans and the hardcore boxing fans. Like, I think the hardcore fans will kind of maybe look down on the opinions of casual fans. So, what's your take on the divide?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that the people who don't agree with it, they're going to be the hardcore boxing fans, but they're not going to agree with it because they see how hard people like the upcoming fighters work to get nowhere near as much exposure and as much money that these YouTubers have just walked in and they can do it, which I understand. But obviously, the casual fans are the ones who are enjoying it. They know these people. They've got the following on Instagram and YouTube, so they sort of feel like they know them in person. So they're watching them and they're enjoying it. So let them enjoy it. I mean, the whole boxing fans, they're going to have a downer on it because, like I said, that fighters work so hard to get nowhere near as much money as fame as they're getting in, 6 weeks. But I just feel let them go on with it, man. Let them earn some money and have some fun.
And so, were you a big boxing fan before you started boxing yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I did like boxing, but I never sort of followed it as much as I do now. Like you said, I was just a casual fan. I was just a casual boxing fan. And then even when I first started, I was just a casual fan. I just liked fighting, and I liked the whole surroundings, everything about it. But once I started getting a bit deeper, I started becoming more serious about it.
So I know you used to kind of. I remember when I was watching the fight of your last fight. The commentator, he was like, he used to play rugby, but then he used to get into quite a lot of fights, and that kind of led you to boxing. So how did getting into boxing kind of help with your temper, if at all? Yeah,
I mean, obviously, when you've had a bad day, there's nothing better than going down the gym and smacking a bag or having a spar, and it releases your. I think as men, we've all got that little bit of fire in us. Do you know what I mean? And it's nice to just go down the gym on the end of the night. Say if we've had a bit of a shit day, you go down the gym and you can just bang it out, and then it releases endorphins and it makes me happy. And and then obviously. I used to love fighting. Now I don't like fighting anymore. I just I do it because I like the sport and I like the thing. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now I wouldn't fight on the street. I don't agree with it now. Whereas then when I was a kid, I strive. I think I'd love it. I'd love to go out there and start fighting. But yeah, I think I changed the way I thought about fighting. Definitely.
So something that I've heard people say is that they don't really agree with having like all these different organizations. So you've got like the WA, sorry, WBA, WBC, WBO, and people say, oh, there should just be one belt like for each weight class. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do agree with that in a sense. I feel like it takes the shine off the champions in a sense, because I mean, you're getting things now where you're getting, you could call them email champions, where they're going from regular champion to the proper champion just by an email. They haven't had a fight by it, and then there's a WBC silver. There's just so many belts in one section. I think it takes a shine off the lad who is the best. Because if you've got 5 different belts, who's the best? And they won't fight each other either. That's the thing. The sanctions and the promoters, different promoters and different belts. The best fighters don't really fight the best fighters anymore, because they can get away from it. They can get around it. Mayweather sort of made this 50-0 and made everyone want to have the 0 next to their name. People don't want to have big fights anymore because they can just go around it and fight for a different belt, which looks the same to, like you say, the casual fans. They look like, oh look, he's a world champion, where, I mean, he hasn't fought the best to get the belt, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think it can be a bit of a shit thing, but I mean, it can be a good thing as well as the thing. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, I think it takes a shine off it.
So what do you think the positives are of having the different belts?
The positives are, I mean, everyone gets a chance to get a belt around the shoulders, really, in a sense. It's not as hard, but you still got to work hard to get one of them belts, because you're still fighting top level fighters.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I mean, there's positives about it. I think it's good. Everyone gets a chance to get a belt, like I say.
No, fair enough. All right. So, what are your goals? Say short term and long term.
Goals, obviously. Long term, obviously, I was always world champion. But I mean, short term, British title. Obviously, I've got to work my way up through the Midlands and then the English and whatever. But yeah, British title. I think British title is the most prestigious title for me. I'd love the British title. But I always say, if I can get to British level, then I can always go further. So yeah, definitely.
Nice. All right, man. So what we're going to do now is go into the trivia section. So 5 questions, multiple choice, and we'll see how you get on. Because you know what, I actually looked at these before we started recording. I thought, you know what, these are a little bit tricky, you know. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think they are, but yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see how you get on. All right, first one. I don't think is too bad. What boxing weight class is heaviest? Flyweight, bantamweight, or featherweight?
Featherweight.
Featherweight is correct. Yeah. All right. Now the rest of them are mainly more welterweight based. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather knocked out Ricky Hatton in which round of their 2007 title bout? Is it A, 8th round, B, 10th round, or C, 12th round?
8th round.
It was the 10th round.
Ah.
Alright, next question. Terence Crawford is the current WBO welterweight champion and is unbeaten in 37 fights. How many of these victories have come by way of knockout? So A, 28, B, 32, C, 35.
28.
28 is correct. Well played. Alright, next question. In what year did Manny Pacquiao make his professional debut? A, 1995, B, 1998, or C, 2001?
1995. No, right there. I'm trying to think now. Because he's about 40 now, isn't he? He's 40.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
He's 40, so... 2020. I would say 1905. Gotta be.
Well played. It is 1995. All right. Now, last question. Who did Kell Brook beat to win the WBA welterweight championship in 2014? Is it A, Adrian Bronner, B, Max Furman, C, Sean Porter?
Sean Porter.
Yeah, it was Sean Porter. 4 out of 5, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Should have got that one, no, to be fair. That should have been 5 out of 5.
Lucky man, you did well. Alright, and so just before we go, I'm interested to know what music you're listening to. So, recently I had like the Apple Music, Wrapped, that sort of thing. But yeah, who you listen to at the moment?
I like a bit of everything I do, to be honest. I run to, you might think this is a bit mad, but like Saxophone House. I love a bit of Saxophone House, man.
Saxophone House. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just that's my jam when I'm running.
Sick.
I like that. I like K Coke's new tune just then. I like a bit of K Coke. I like a bit of Wretch. I like a bit of everything. I like the 80s. I do. I mean, sometimes I just put on the 80s mix. I love that sort of stuff. I do. All the old school bangers.
Nice. And usually, what's on when you're training?
When we're training, I think they mix you up, man. Let me try to take this out. They mix you up. I'm not really the one that. What's going on here? I'm not the one that sort of. I don't really get in charge of the Bluetooth, man. I just let him crack on with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to listen to whatever I am. I like a bit of everything.
Nice. Yeah, that's the way forward, man. Just mixing it up.
Mm.
All right, man. Hey, you've been a great guest. But before we end, do you have any last words?
Yeah, man. Nice one. I appreciate that. It's good stuff. That's it, man. Nice one. Appreciate it.
Sound. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, so Instagram, it's Conah W, but it's spelled CONAHW. And then Facebook's Conah Walker, spelled again, CONAH Walker. Twitter, I still ain't got around to sort of getting on there. So yeah, that's it.
All right, nice one, man. Conah, thanks again for coming on, and I wish you all the best in training, and looking forward to your next fight,
Nice
whenever
one.
that
All
may
the best
be.
for you as well, Liam, man. Nice one.
Cheers, mate.
Safe.
What are you listening to?
The Get to Know podcast.
You're listening to the Get to Know
podcast.